Two prices sit on one shelf label. Same jar of coffee, same shop, same afternoon. Scan a loyalty card and you pay about a fifth less. The card costs you nothing. So what does the shop get back from you instead? You've probably already decided what's going on here. The shop bumped the normal price up, so the card price looks generous. The discount is theater, the card is free, and nobody paid anything. That is a completely reasonable guess. It has also been properly measured, and it doesn't survive. So start with what that card actually does at the till. This is something you do twice a week without ever looking at it. You hand over a bit of plastic, or you open an app. It's tied to a name, an email, or a phone number. The lower price unlocks only once that scan happens. And from that moment, the shop keeps a running list. What this particular person bought and when. The card holds no money and charges no fee. It is an identity check with a discount attached. So what is a list of your shopping actually worth to somebody? First, though, somebody actually tested that inflated price. Britain's competition regulator audited around 50,000 loyalty-priced grocery items. That's 5 supermarket chains, all of it published late in 2024. 92% offered a real saving against the usual price. The discounts ran between 17 and 25%. And the price without a card generally didn't move before, during, or after. Meanwhile, 55% of shoppers there believed that price had been inflated. So more than half of them were wrong about the thing they were surest of. It's one country's regulator, so I won't stretch that across the world. But the money handed back is real, and real money comes from somewhere. Selling food is one of the thinnest businesses there is. Out of every dollar you spend, a big grocer keeps 1 to 3 cents as profit. That leftover slice has a name, the margin. Now put a 2-cent margin beside a 20% discount. 20 cents handed back on a jar of coffee against 2 cents of profit on it. The discount is about 10 times the entire profit on that jar. The groceries cannot be paying for this. So something else in the building is funding your coffee. The shop is running 2 businesses off the same trolley. The first one sells you food at that 1 to 3 cents in the dollar. The second sells advertising and shopper data off the back of the first. There, the reported margins are around half. On the shop's own screens and app, as high as 70 to 90 cents in the dollar. So $1 of ad money can be worth tens of dollars of groceries. That is why a fifth off the coffee is cheap. It buys the raw material for the fat business. So the obvious thing to ask is what all those lists add up to. Worldwide, brands are spending somewhere around $150 billion a year. It has a name, retail media. Adverts and targeting, sold by shops themselves. Most of it scaled up only since about 2020. 15 years ago, that business was a rounding error. And what are the brands paying for? The name attached to the basket. So here's the odd part. $150 billion business, and nobody at the shelf ever argues about it. The reason is that we are all arguing about the wrong number. The public fight over loyalty cards is about the shelf price. Is the higher one honest? That's a fight the shops win, and that audit is exactly why. Nobody in that fight ever asks the other half of the deal. Because here is what the shop can now sell a brand. It showed you an advert, and then it watched you buy the thing. Almost nowhere else in advertising can anyone prove that. So the winners are the retailers' advertising arms, and the brands buying from them. Nobody planned it that way. The argument just settled on the cheaper half of the deal. And 2 prices on one label are older than any advertising business. Shops were doing this long before anyone had shopper data at all. Paper coupons, clipped out of a newspaper, cut the price for whoever bothered. No names, no lists, and it worked fine. So there's a rival explanation here, and it's a strong one. The card is deliberately a small nuisance. You sign up, hand over details, remember it, scan it. Now think about who actually bothers with all that. It's the person counting the money and comparing shops. Those are exactly the shoppers who would otherwise walk out and buy elsewhere. So the shop cuts the price for them alone, and everyone else pays full. That works without a single piece of data changing hands. And it is why two prices exist at all. But look at what that coupon grew into. In that same country, about 97% of shoppers belong to a scheme. A hurdle that 97% of people clear is barely a hurdle. The honest answer is both, with the data business now paying for the scale. One more fair objection. Brands themselves fund a big slice of these promotions. True, and it explains how the discount gets so large without hurting the shop. It still doesn't explain why the shop withholds it until it knows who you are. Meanwhile, a shop is legally charging two people two prices for one jar of coffee. Lawmakers in some places have started calling that something else entirely. But the card is free and the discount is real. So what does the shop get back? It gets you. More precisely, it gets to attach your name to what you just bought. And a fifth off the coffee is roughly what this shop will bid for that. It isn't a reward, and it isn't a trick. It's a price. The gap between those two numbers is the shop's own valuation of knowing you, which quietly flips who is selling what at that till. At that till, you are the one selling. And the shop has just quoted you a price for it. This is the year lawmakers decided they don't like the general version of this. Using your data to set your personal price even has a label now: surveillance pricing. 3 American states passed laws against it in 2026. The first takes effect in September and more follow in October. Over 40 similar bills are live across at least 24 states. Europe has a proposal on personalized pricing, with nothing adopted and nothing in force. So none of this is worldwide, and where you live decides what reaches you. But you'll hear the headline anyway: personal pricing banned. Now go and read those laws for the things sitting in your wallet. Every one of those laws leaves loyalty and membership schemes alone. All 3 written in on purpose. The general practice gets restricted, and the card-shaped version gets an exception. The public hears that personal pricing is banned, while the card becomes its legal channel. A member price offered to anyone who joins is plainly allowed. A personal offer built from your own history inside the app? Nobody has tested that yet. And these rules are still being written differently in every place. Meanwhile, you're standing at a shelf looking at 2 numbers. I'm not going to tell you to cut up the card. That's your call, and a fifth off is real money. Just read the 2 numbers differently from now on. The gap is a live quote. It is this shop's own price for knowing that this basket is yours. And you can compare it between shops and between baskets. Almost every data deal in your life is invisible and unpriced. This one prints its price on the shelf at eye level. So next time you scan, you'll know exactly what the shop is buying.